Alright crew, so welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another quick video. This is going to be, hopefully it's going to be a quick tip video. What we're doing, guys, we're working on the brake system. I'm almost finished here with Royal Salute. As you guys see, I got Bullseye here to the left of me and I got Royal Salute here to the right of me. But today, guys, we're working on Royal Salute front brakes, and I'm going to explain to you here in a second just what happened to me and may happen to you whenever you're bleeding your brakes. Alright guys, so I'm back. So like I said previously, guys, this may happen to you whenever you got new brake system and you're trying to bleed them to try to get it up and running. So make a long story short, as I was bleeding the brakes, I always started with the far side up from your master cylinder, which was the passenger rear. So as I was bleeding those brakes, evidently when I was doing a two-man system, when I was pumping the brakes, and so when they open up the bleeder valve, you know, you stomp on it and then you hold it until they tell you, to let the brake release all the way down to the floor. Well, evidently we have what you call a proportion valve in some of these old trucks, and I'm gonna do a quick box opening with these things. So I went and ordered a new one just in case I cannot get the one that's on Royal Salute unstuck. This is what you call a proportionate valve. Alright, so with this proportionate valve, of course, this is for drum. This portion back here is for your rear brakes. Then you got this going to your master cylinder, which is your rear brakes. Then you got the front one here, which is for your rear brakes as well, going to your master cylinder. You can block off this one here, and then on the bottom one is also going for your front brakes as well. And you could tee it off if you wanted to use the top one for the front brakes, but I always tee mine off and I just use this one for the front brakes. And also this little button here is actually a reset, okay, that if it does lock up to the front, you can hit this button there and you can reset it and it should slide back. But on Royal Salute, I tried that and it didn't reset. So basically what it did was, just like the whole purpose of this is like a safety device. So basically, if you have a blowout on your front lines, that pin that's inside of here will shoot forward, cutting off your fluid flow so it won't leak anymore, but you still have your emergency back brakes. So basically that's what happened. I guess this is a mechanical device here, and when I was bleeding the brakes, it must have thought that I had a blowout in the front line and that pin shot forward. So my problem was I'm trying to get that pin to go back. So another two that I actually brought, and I'm hoping that I would not have to use this proportionate valve. So I got this here off of eBay, and it's basically a bleeding system. It's a First Info. All right, so this is what I got. I would try to leave, if I find the same description that I got on eBay, I will leave it down in the link below, so you guys may be interested in one. So we're going to see if this works. I'm going to try to bleed the front brakes to see if I can get that valve to come back back aft towards the rear brakes. And then I actually going to bleed them this time with a bleeder tube. I also put this in the link. This here is just a little bleeder tube. And this is what you're supposed to use whenever you're bleeding your brakes for the first time. And basically what happens is you take off this right here, is a little it's a 5/8 socket, I believe. You take off this piece here, like so. You can see it has a little washer on there, and then you take this bleeder tube and you put it down in your slot there where you're sensing. Basically this right here is just for a brake light sensor, okay, which I don't never use. I just bypass this. So you put that down in there, and that way that pin, whenever you bleeding your back brakes and you're mashing down on it, it would not give you a false reading like your front brakes have collapsed and went out on you, and that pin will not go forward. It'll actually stay centered, okay, because there's like a little groove in there, like a half moon shape, and this little pin there actually stops it from going forward or backwards. All right, so today guys is going to be a quick video. First I'm going to try to get that pin unstuck with this the new bleeder kit that I have, and if that doesn't work, then we're going to have to take off the proportional valve, and this is the last result. That's why I really don't want to go this route. But if all fails, if I can't get that pin back, we're just going to go ahead and take the old PV2 valve, proportional valve off of Royal Salute, and we're going to put the new one in, and then we're going to bleed it the proper way. So hang tight with me today guys, and hopefully this will be a quick video. Alright, so let's see what's came with this box here. Alright, so you got some reading material, come with all your instructions, what to do, what not to do. And they also got some, I guess, big industrial type of pumps as well. First, Info Auto Tubes. Alright. Alright, so you got your reservoir. Alright, so basically this reservoir here is what you put in your overflow bottle with your brake fluid, and you fill this up with brake fluid and you put it down in there. That way your brake fluid reservoir will not go empty whenever you're bleeding your brakes. Alright, so you got more, just a card with more information, and then you got your reservoir itself. And one reason why I actually was interested in this one, particular one that caught my attention, was because you actually use your compressor. You hook your compressor up, and then you squeeze this, and it's all air fed, and it'll bleed it. And this is the end piece. This is a universal piece that you put on your calipers to bleed them. Alright, so you got to use at least 80 psi to have this work. You have to have a compressor. You know, you can have a small compressor as well. So that's one reason why I decided to get this particular unit here, is because you use your compressor. That way I can get some good vacuum on my lines. So let's go ahead and hook this up to the front first and see if we can get some pressure on it to see if we can move that pin back on the Royal Salute. Alright, so first thing first, what you want to do, you want to make sure that you actually got enough stuff around your painted metal and stuff, because that the brake fluid will eat up fresh paint. So the first thing we want to do is unscrew your top here, because we do want it to suck, but we don't want it to vapor lock on us. And then it's going to be a tight fit, but I'm going to try to film it. I'm going to try to get underneath the truck here, and we're going to connect our bleeder here to see if we can get any type of fluid coming back into this container. Alright, so here's the rubber piece here. It's really tight underneath here. Make sure you pull this off. I believe this is I think it's going to be a 10. Yep, so it's a 10. Put that on there. And then what I normally do is get my little adapter here, press this on, now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure this is straight, good seal. I'm going to break this open. Alright, I broke that. Cut this off. I got some suction. It wasn't a solid line, but I did get some fluid, and you want to make sure you check your reservoir. You do not want that to go empty. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take my sensor here out, and we're going to see if that pin have actually slid back on us. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. And actually, it did not slide. I don't know if you can see, put some little light down in there. You see that? There is not slid back, unfortunately. So I believe what I'm going to have to do is take off this proportion valve. But first, I'm going to have to drain the fluid out of this here to relieve so that all this fluid won't go everywhere. So this was the result that I did not want to do, is actually take this off, but that seemed like it's going to be the easiest way, is just to take off this proportion valve and put this new one on. Alright crew, so first thing first, what we're going to do is we're going to drain the overflow bottle as far as the bladder. And what you can do with this First Info bleeder, the piece that came with the kit here that you put on your caliper, you can just pull this off. Alright, because you don't want to stick this down in here because it'll get all nasty and messy. And then you just take the end piece here and put it down here, and you can drain your fluid. So put that down in there and mash it. Going pretty fast. Get the front here. Alright, you can see how much fluid I've already sucked out of there. It's like right up to here. Alright guys, so we're back. I went on ahead and hooked up everything. Really messy job. I didn't want to get anything on my paint and stuff, so I just went on ahead and hooked up the new proportionate valve off camera. But the most important thing, zoom in so you can see, this time what I'm going to do is take out the brake sensor. Make sure the O-ring comes with it, that brake sensor here. And we're going to be putting in the bleeder tube. This time this will not happen to me again, hopefully, like it did before. And what that bleeder tube does, it prevents the valve, the check valve in here, and basically it's a safety device, and it basically did what it's supposed to do. When it thinks it's busted a front line or whatever, that valve will slide forward, shutting your front brakes off, so then you'll only have back brakes. But this way, whenever I bleed my brakes and stuff, if it's a lot of pressure coming through, that valve, like I said, it's like a moon shape piece like that this thing sits in. It can't go forward or backwards. So now we're going to go ahead and bleed the brakes. Hey, this is a pretty tight shot, but I'm going to try to get it for you guys. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is try to bleed this. Make sure it's a good seal. That was good. That one turned out really good. That got fluid coming. I'm going to just bleed it again just to make sure. Right. I'll show you how much fluid I got out of here. Show you, this is all the fluid that came out. Alright, and we got some solid stream coming through that back. So now we'll go over to the passenger rear. And we'll double check your reservoir up front by your master cylinder. And you may have to top it off. Now you want to make sure we put more fluid back in here. Topping it off, close it back. Alright guys, now we'll test the brakes. We'll replace our knob and put the sensor back in, and we'll test the brakes out. Alright crew, so that's the end of this video. I must say my thoughts on the first info brake bleeder that I got from Amazon. It's a go, man. I tell you what, one thing that I really do love besides the quality, like I said, you got brass fittings on this thing. You got a real powerful 80 psi control, almost like a spray gun nozzle here. Hard plastic. It's put together very well. I'm sure it's made in China somewhere, but this was one of the best brake bleeders that I've used. I've got one from Harbor Freight. It worked, but you know, you still needed the 2-man rule. And I tell you what, this was very little cleanup. As you guys see how I used the wrenches, and I put the my little fitting here on the back of my wrench. Therefore, it was no mess. And I mean, this was a very tight fit as well on my bleeders. So it was, I'm telling you, I really like this. It took me about an hour. Like I said, I was taking my time, making sure I have no leaks or whatever. I did test my brakes. I wasn't able to drive, as you guys see. It's raining really bad, but I still wanted to make this quick video for you guys. I did just drive forward and backwards, and the brake pedal felt so much better than it did before because I was mashing very hard. So therefore, I know I got front brakes. Whenever it's a nice sunny day, I will test drive it again. So anyway, my thoughts on this is I'd give this brake bleeder a 10. I had no issues, no problems, very good suction. I could go on and on, but I want to make this a short video. So hey, if you guys like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, put some comments down below, and you guys make sure you share this video with other people, and if you really like it, go ahead and subscribe to help the channel out, guys. So anyway, like I always tell everybody, man, if you got a good cigar, a fast car, truck, smoke them if you got them, baby. CJ is out, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.